Hi friends, strangers, internet. My name is EmilyHanhan. I love colorful makeup and colorful language. And today we have a summer favorites video. Honestly, summer is usually my favorite season. I decided to just pull together some favorite things. Now, I kind of just looked around my apartment and picked up different things that called out to me. Most of it's makeup. We do have some random bits. I'll put it at the end, things you might call lifestyle. I did film this already, so what's going to happen is we're going to go through about a third of the favorites, and then everything's going to change. So in this look, we're going to talk about the first 5 favorites. The first one is my most skincare of all the favorites. It's also a product I have discussed here before, but I got to give Crave Beach Shield just another shout out. So the Beach Shield is an SPF. In the US, I don't think they can actually call this an SPF, but it keeps me protected. I use it on my face. I mean, you could use it on your body, but that would get expensive real fast. This is by Crave with a K, K-R-A-V-E. Crave, I want to say Crave Beauty, but yeah, Crave Beauty, okay. Crave Beauty, and it is one of the first SPFs I've ever tried that just feels like a moisturizer. Actually, it's the first one that truly just feels like a moisturizer. I did have one from Biore that felt more like a gel moisturizer, but it also had a lot of citrus fragrance and a slight bit of alcohol feeling from what I remember. This just feels like moisturizer. If my skin is feeling fairly hydrated, sometimes I can just use this, or I'll use a lightweight essence or toner first. If my skin is feeling a little bit more parched, I can kind of do most of my normal skincare and go on top with this, and it doesn't feel greasy or too heavy. I have only had one time where this started to make my eyes just a little bit uncomfortable, but generally speaking, a lot of the SPFs that I've tried in the past always sweated into my eyes because I am a sweaty beast. I sweat basically if I'm even just a little bit hot. So this is one of the first ones that it took hours of sweating for it to finally feel like it had kind of broken down and sweated into my eyes. Now I do want to expand my SPF knowledge, so I may try to pick up maybe some Korean or Japanese SPFs through YesStyle or something like that. But if I'm in a situation where I just need to buy something for right away replenishment, if I have the money, Crave is what I'll go to. It's a really nice SPF. That's really the only skincare I pulled out, but I have a lip care item. So the Milani Fruit Fetish Lip Balm. This, I feel like I kept trying to talk about this in videos, and I felt like I either would edit it out or scrapped the video or something. This is a squeezy tube. This was a whole line that Milani released mid-late summer. So there are multiples of these fruit balms that are all tinted slightly different and then scented different. I have the strawberry lemonade. I also have I think it's a dragon fruit one, but it's in a bag over there. And that has a slightly deeper tint, but it's not super intense in color. This one, while it looks pink, it really is just, this is the most beautiful glossy balm. I'm going to put on top of these Propa lipsticks, which are already pretty shiny, so we're going to see if you're going to be able to tell the difference. I can tell a difference in person, I'm not sure what's going to pick up on the camera. I should have zoomed in earlier, sorry. But I do think it kind of smoothed everything over just a little bit more, and it's more shiny. A couple months back, I was really raving about the Milani Ludicrous glosses. They are the glossiest gloss that has like such a glass-like shine to them, but they can get thick or feel thick on the lips, especially with prolonged use. And for me, I found as I reapplied, I felt like it was just a lot of buildup. This feels like such a great alternative because I think most of the colors are going to come off clear to sheer, and you could use it as a lip balm. You could use it as just like a clear gloss on your lips, or you could top other lip products. I think that this is, I also think that this, it might not be like your ultimate lip care product, but it doesn't make my lips feel worse. And sometimes balms, these tinted balms or these highly fragranced balms, sometimes they can make my lips feel really dry, really like almost raw. This doesn't do it. So, I mean, especially while they have their like summer collection out, if you're a sucker for a gloss, if you're a sucker for a lip balm and you like a shiny one. Speaking of the things that are on my lips right now, I looked back. So I don't regularly do favorites, but I did a couple months back, I think, did like 5 fast favorites, and I did mention Propa lipsticks in that video. But I bought more of them. And some of the colors that I bought more recently are like even more perfect to me. The one I want to talk about today is Made It. This is just the most beautiful orange that doesn't feel too, it doesn't feel like a carrot or like the actual orange fruit. It's also not as deep as something like, I think, Limitless or Believe It, one of those 2 shades. So this color is a stunner. What I actually have on my lips today is a combo of Made It and Finesse, which is another color that I got in my last order. That's definitely one of their lighter shades as well. Fine, I'll swatch it. And so that's another gorgeous, like, neutral nude shade on me. So yeah, I think I like the colors I bought first, but I think the second batch, I did a better job at picking colors that are more me. And these especially feel more like summer colors for me, because a lot of the colors that I have, I can't wait to dig into for the fall, but I don't find myself drawn to. But Made It especially, and Finesse, yes. Now, on the absolute opposite end of the spectrum, let's talk about the best black lipstick out there. House of Uni Wicked is the best black lipstick. Liquid, bullet, pencil, whatever. This is so good. It is so incredibly pigmented. Hold on, I want to try to do this on camera. That's one swipe. So pigmented. It dries down matte. It's not transfer proof. It's not a liquid lipstick like that, but it dries down pretty much matte. It's so opaque. It's so like rich in color that I don't really get that like feathering around the lip line that a lot of black bullet lipsticks give me, and I don't find it to be very, very difficult to apply because I'm not having to go back in and like layer over patchy spots or whatever. Like, this just works. I'm anti-liquid lipsticks, but I understand why people buy them when they want colors like black or dark blues or teals or things like that. Particularly with this black, like House of Uni is covering all of your needs, and you don't have to struggle with liquid lipsticks. And I still think liquid lipsticks are harder to apply than bullet lipsticks. So there's that. But I love that color. As Faces Regina would say, black, particularly when it comes to lipstick, is a neutral. And that's a fall winter one. I mean, that's a year-round one. Because like even a look like this and I look like this, I would absolutely wear black lipstick. Love it. Now, an eye product that I've mentioned before, that I've told you how much I love, but I just keep reaching for it, and that is Lady Lagoon from Fenty Beauty. This is their Fly Pencil Longwear Pencil Eyeliner. It's their matte formula. I have a shimmer yellow gold one. Don't like that formula as much, but the matte, this matte blue is, I mean, it would help if I zoom in, wanted to be swatches, but I never do. But it goes on so easily. My waterlines are super finicky. They don't like to hold on to most pencils. Like, the pencils don't even apply. It's not even that they fade away quickly. It's like they don't even apply. This color goes on like a dream. Okay, Fenty. I highly doubt you're ever going to see this video. But in case you do, or in case anyone that's in partnership with you, anyone that can put in the good word, please release more of these matte pencils. Release them in like grass green, in like a bright purple, in I don't know, teal. Like, she has some colors, like Fenty has some colors out right now, but I feel like they're either deeper, or the brights are like coral and pink, and then this blue. I want like anything, any other shade of blue, any shade of green beyond the olive. Like, give me the chartreuse and the lime and the grass green, different shades of purple. Like, I will spend the money. If you release the colors, I will give you my money. That was the first portion of my favorites. We are going to do some kind of probably awkward transition from current me to past me, which is basically past me to even further past me. And I hope you stay along and continue to see what else are summer favorites. An unexpected favorite from Yes Style and in my endeavoring into cream blushes is the Holika Jelly Dough Blusher. So this is like Play-Doh or like a fucking science experiment. But the really cool thing, and something I just kind of figured out today, is that it totally applies with a brush. I dipped my like Refer tapered blush brush or tapered face brush right in. It picked up the product beautifully. It applied. This is what's on my cheeks. I have highlighter mixed in with there, so it's not glowy. It's just a pretty cream blush that doesn't feel tacky, because I put it on and then I did not set it with anything else. It doesn't really feel tacky. It's a really pretty peachy tone. It can be like sheared out, so it's not so intense. And I just think this is a really pretty color of blush. And in warmer months, it doesn't feel like a cream blush that's too intimidating, too oily, too creamy. It just seems like a nice in-between, where you don't get any powderiness of a powdered blush, but you don't get that like dewy, glossy look that you see in like the M Cosmetics serum blushes is my go-to example, because I know my friend Alex loves them, and I'm just like, too much gloss for me. Anyway, really enjoy that. Another face product that was not a surprise love, but it definitely is a love, and that is the Kaleidos Diamond Dasher highlighter. So that is the highlighter. That is it on my finger. I like this. So it's definitely a more glittery formula. To me, this is somewhere between a pink and a peach in terms of tone. I like it on my skin, like in more concentrated areas. I like it kind of all over where I do my blushy highlight placement. I do recommend putting this either on an unset base or use something like I use the Danessa Myricks Duet Balm, or something like a hydrating spray, not even necessarily a setting spray, but like a hydrating spray, and then apply it, because it does need that to really stick, because it is a more glittery formula. But I love a glitter highlighter. It's just pinky tones are some of my favorites, and I've found it hard to find peachy toned highlighters that are not too pigmented, like not too in that peachy orange family, or ones that don't lean almost like red, or that tone that you see in like Mars Melter or a lot of the highlighters that you see out there. I don't know, I love Diamond Dasher. Let's talk like full throttle highlight glow Danessa Myricks Lightwork. This is the first one that Danessa released, so it is the lighter of the two. There's a second one that she came out with fairly recently, which is why this came into my attention. So on my cheeks today, I have Smooth Sailing and like Duh on my face. So Smooth Sailing is an example of a peach highlighter that does just have a little bit too much pigment in it for me, but it's a stunning color, and it would be a beautiful like blush topper too. I mean, that's why I ended up bringing it all the way down, and I knew I was going in with a cream blush, so I let some of that glow mingle. This is just a fucking gorgeous formula. Like, this is not glittery at all. It's just glowy. And for me, having the white in there, like, I don't always just reach for a white highlighter, but especially with the pink highlighter and the peach highlighter that are in there, layering the white on top particularly. So like what I did today, you know, I have it all around, and then the white really focused it here and a little bit up, so that it can lighten it up a little bit. But if I'm going really blush heavy, I might not even need to lighten up some of these tones. So it's a favorite. I'm really happy to have it. Do I actually think it's like the smartest investment for myself or other people? No, because you may or may not like all 6 shades. But one thing that makes it an additional favorite for me in terms of functionality is that these are all magnetic, and the palette itself is magnetic. Or, so I should say, the palette itself is magnetic. It's not glued in, so you can pop these out. So for me, probably over time, I will probably remove my favorite of the shades, and realistically I might consider other ways to pass on the shades I don't use, whether it's reselling them or gifting them or whatever. But I also like the idea of just being able to downsize the palette if I just want 1 shade or 2 shades. I love that kind of shit. It makes me super happy. I'm not a makeup artist, but I love some of the functionality of makeup artist makeup. Speaking of something that has a similar format making me very happy, we're heading into eyeshadow, and we're going to talk about Lethal Cosmetics and their After Dark palette. Now, I have been meaning to put up a review on this palette for probably over a month now. I keep By keep, I mean 2 times now, I have deleted my footage, my actual review footage. I did like 3 looks with it on camera, and then I just keep deleting the footage. So I will refilm that at some point in time and get the video up. But I really like this palette. Oh, that's funny because the After Dark palette came with a bunch of 90s themed stickers, which I threw all over my Tumblr rather than the palette. I love the Lethal Matte formula, and I have no complaints about this palette. I have already kind of torn this apart and put it in my singles collection because that is one of my favorite parts of that, is that this is all a magnetic palette. So you can just pop these shades out, either rearrange them, use it as a palette for other Lethal or Menagerie or Adept square shadows. Like I've put all 3 of those in this palette, and they've stepped up their shimmers. I don't want to tell too much because I do want to actually post a review even though it's late as hell. They've stepped up their shimmers. Maybe not all of them in this collection, but they've done it. And I think the colors that they picked out are just lovely. Like, I have my qualms about it in terms of color story, but in terms of buying a selection of fun colors from Lethal to then again take apart and put into my single collection and use it in that way, love it. Love this. Please, more brands do this kind of making the palette magnetic so that you can pop out your shadows, or releasing bundles instead of palettes. Like, oh, I love it so much. Now another a kind of wider range of loves that I just want to mention because like I would feel like I'm not kind of touching on some of my favorites of this summer. Iridescent shifting shadows. So the palette I'm going to show you, it's not all Divina and Terra Moon, but that's where most of my love comes from. So I have the Divina Sugar Drops, the Terra Moon Iridescent Chameleons, some other Terra Moon shadows, some from Beauty Bar Baby, and some other randos in here actually. But like the 2 ends of the palette are like the loves. So this side has some of the Divina Sugar Drops, and this side has some of the Terra Moon shadows. The thing with a palette like this is that it's so not impressive until you actually like show swatches. And I'm gonna be honest, even with somebody like Divina who does a more flaky formula, I think even sometimes swatches, like raw swatches without glitter glue, they're not always the most convincing. Just anything that is like shiny and it has color to it, but it has like, I call it like the clear base effect, I love. I feel like the Sugar Drops are beautiful, but I do think they lean more in the pinky purpley spectrum. Okay, so to clarify, I bought 6 of the Sugar Drops and I bought 6 of the Iridescent Chameleons. I do feel like the collections are, I don't want to say that they are bloated, because I think that's not really, that's not the direction, that's not the way I want to, it's not the tone I want to talk about these shadows in. But I don't think you need all of the shadows from each collection. I do think you can look at swatches and pick out anywhere from 2 to 6 from each collection, and you would still get a huge variety. I love using them on the inner corner. It's what we have going on today. These are both Divina. We have Cake Bomb and Gumballs, and Gumballs is kind of faded into the other gold, but I love using them there. A lot of times I do a much more blown out inner corner. Today I was just slightly more controlled, and I like using them on my lid, over glitter glue, over other colors, because they have that clear base. They can be a really easy way to take a look from looking like just like a basic one wash of matte color to like an interesting dimensional look, because you put that iridescent shadow over your whole lid. So you know how I'm talking about how I love iridescent shadows. Well, this look that I did for the edited beginning of the video, I actually used 2 of those iridescent toppers on top of the same 2 colors. So this eye and this waterline are the same turquoise from Juicy Boost, the matte tone, but this turquoise is covered in Sugies from Divina, and this turquoise is covered with Europa from Terra Moon. This lid and this waterline are the same watermelon tone from Juicy Boost, but this is covered in Sugies, this is covered in Europa. So my lash line is Europa, my lid is Sugies with the mattes underneath. And you can just see, you can see some of the shifts in Sugie, I hope. And then you can see how Europa just completely changes these colors. I knew I would like both formulas. Divina is more of a flaky, chunky, you definitely need glitter glue, but I like the chunkiness kind of formula. Terra Moon, the iridescent chameleons, tend to be a little bit more of a smoothed out texture. I still use glitter glue with Terra Moon as well though, because it's just habit, it's just what I do. But if you're open to flaky, I think Divina is a great place to start with this iridescent thing if you've never played in it. With Terra Moon, I don't know if they're still pre-order only or not. They're definitely more expensive, and while I have no regrets for spending the money I spent, I understand why somebody would be like, I'm not gonna spend that much money on a single eyeshadow. I get it. So I have one more, not quite lifestyle, not quite makeup thing to mention. I have loved glue on, press on, drugstore brand nails for a long time, but let me tell you, the fact that Ulta has started picking up more of the Kiss brand nails and they are often on sale has made me a die-hard press-on nail fan. So the ones that I'm wearing today are are from Kiss, although I did put the peachy tone nails they're originally matte in this collection, but the other are glitter and like iridescent. But yeah, this is from Kiss. I've picked up, I haven't worn these yet, but like I picked up more intense like jeweled ones, and some more intense jeweled but pointy. I really like the pointy shape, but this shape, maybe slightly more tapered, is growing on me. Actually, this version of this shape I really like. Like these are jelly but also iridescent and glittery. The things that are not my favorites, but I keep trying to make them my favorites, are the Impress brand ones, because like these Rebecca Minkoff ones, they did a whole collection. This longer shape works on my nails, but any of the shorter shapes are too narrow for my nail beds. But my a couple problems with these. So like this collection, like how fucking cute are these? The pink, the blue, the yellow. But all of the big nails are pink. So if I were to put this on, it would just be a pink manicure, and it loses kind of its like cute, fresh, preppy summer look that way. And I don't like them because I don't find the glue pads to be strong enough for me. So yeah, I could just nail glue them down, and sometimes I do, but they're not my favorite. But okay, I had another moment, because like I had a drugstore coupon, and I saw I should say an Ulta drugstore coupon, and I saw that they had released some things, and so I got almost all of the Halloween nails that they released. So, haven't put those on yet, but those are a preemptive fave. And I might not be able to resist dipping into those once I have fully mentally progressed past summer. I am like eyeing some of the independently decorated, designed nails that like Audra has been trying out. I do want to venture into that world. It's just an investment, and I'm not sure if I'm ready for that. So I just did a video about masks and makeup, and I just need to give another shout out to my friend Tammy and her business Yarn and Whiskey. These cotton masks are bold, they're comfortable. She's even adjusted and added new options for ties, so like there's easier adjustable ones. She does all kinds of interesting prints and some more subtle ones. Like I said, they're super comfy. I know that there's only a select number of patterns out there, but like this sewed in kind of dart, I think is actually what it is. Fabric sewing nerd talking. Makes the fit really nice. So it's not like one of those super fitted, almost cone shaped masks, but it's also not maybe as bulky as some of the others that I have seen around. I mean, I love Tammy. Tammy's a doll, but also I just really enjoy these masks. I have 2 from her, but I need to add more to my collection. I'm gonna say it again here. If you have any favorite mask makers, please leave it in the comments, because I do need to order some more. I need to have more than like 4 in rotation. Another clothing fabric-y thing. This, it's not gonna look like, well, I mean, it doesn't necessarily look like much, but I love Target for clothes. Target makes some decent clothes for fat people. They're not always on point, and they do need to work on their range. But this is gonna look giant, because it is giant. This dress. So this definitely is a little oversized on me. And so, but I like it like that because it's like a lot of skin showing up top. I've worn it a couple times on camera for sure. Tyrion's over here saying hi. What's up, sir? It's just like flowy. It's long enough that doesn't feel too short on me, but it's not like maxi length. It's super flowy. It's pretty lightweight, like the fabric theoretically you might think is sheer, but it's not. The only issue is I've noticed that some of these gotta do something. There's a weird, see, this is things. I beat up my clothes. I'm super rough on my clothes, and so as much as I want to like upgrade how I shop and buy more ethically produced clothes, I struggle because even when I've bought more expensive things like used or secondhand, I've beat them up pretty bad, and then I feel like I go through clothes just really quickly. So I'm trying, but for now I've really been liking some of the things from Target. That dress that I have that's like halter but leopard animal print, it's like a maxi dress. I love that. Yeah, I like clothes that are from Target. What can I say? Something that you see a lot in videos and also in live streams are my tumblers. I love having these tumblers because I have cats. They knock things over. These are usually pretty good about not popping open. Not always. This one I've had longer has started to like lose a bit of its grippiness with the lid. They keep everything so cold though. I like icy cold things. I drink iced coffee. I'm a bit of an iced coffee fiend, I guess. And I will like fill up a tumbler with ice and my oat milk and my iced coffee, and it stays cold for hours. So they've just been a really nice addition to my life, which sounds super silly, but like, whatever, I'm silly. Oh, But we're gonna end on an even sillier note. So I know shit about food. I know shit about food, whatever. I like good food. I also like junk food and fast food. A store that tends to hit like that sweet spot for me is Trader Joe's. The fucking mushroom medley salt thing. So it technically is, it's a seasoning blend. It's a salt, but it has dried mushrooms, dried onions, mustard seed, a little bit of red pepper, black pepper, and thyme. In particular, this on tomatoes. A little secret, I'm from the South, born and raised in North Carolina. Me and tomato sandwiches, we're best friends. Summertime tomatoes are the only tomatoes worth eating. You can fight me on that. A tomato sliced up, sprinkled with this blend, eaten on toasted bread with some mayo on it. I understand if you're traumatized. I get it. But I'm not. I love that. That combo, perfection. So good. Again, I get it. I might have said terrible things to you. Fresh tomatoes might traumatize you. Mayo might traumatize you. The two together might traumatize you. I would apologize, except my taste buds are not allowing me to apologize. But no, really, that combination, this, even if you don't want to make a tomato sandwich or mater sandwich, as we say in the place, never mind. Not move on past that. On fresh tomatoes, this shit is great. I really like it, period. I will add it to soups or stews or things instead of salt, like as I'm seasoning, because the umami, which is like a savoriness, is really nice. I'm a fan. I know I could make a blend like this myself, but like, why when I could just buy it at Trader Joe's? There we go. There were my summer favorites. We had skincare and makeup and nails and clothes and housewares, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you've had any summer favorites. Leave them in the comments, whether it's makeup or skincare or a random lifestyle thing that has totally changed your life and makes you feel so happy, because that's me and my tumblers, which is might be weird, but I think I've confirmed multiple times over in this video that I'm weird. And on that note, thank you so much for spending a bit of your day with me. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe out there. Hopefully I will see you again very, very soon. Bye, friends.